The story begins with a question for the audience. What would you do if the person you trusted most revealed their true colors, not with words, but with actions so cruel that they broke your heart forever? This is the story of David Harrison, a billionaire who built his empire from the ground up, and of his gentle mother, Martha, who had been his silent strength through every storm. It is also the story of betrayal, heartbreak, and the shocking truth about love that David discovered on a day he will never forget. David Harrison was not born rich. He was raised in a modest neighborhood where his mother, Martha, worked 2 jobs just to keep food on the table. His father had passed away when he was young, leaving Martha to raise him alone. Life wasn't easy, but Martha's unwavering belief in him shaped David's character. She always told him, "Money can buy houses, cars, and comfort, but it can never buy true kindness." These words stayed with him as he climbed the ladder of success. By the time David was 35,
he had transformed his small startup into a billion-dollar company.
Despite his wealth, he remained humble, always putting his mother first. She still lived with him, refusing to let luxury change her simple habits. Martha loved tending to her little garden, cooking homemade meals, and talking to the household staff as though they were family. But David's heart longed for companionship. That was when he met Clara. Clara was stunning, tall, elegant, and with a smile that could light up any room. They met at a charity gala, where she seemed genuinely interested in his passion for helping underprivileged children. To David, it felt like destiny. After months of dating, he proposed and Clara accepted. To outsiders, they looked like the perfect couple, wealthy, attractive, and deeply in love. But love, as David was about to learn, is not always what it seems. As the wedding date drew closer, Martha began noticing subtle things about Clara. Whenever Martha tried to engage her in conversation, Clara's responses were polite but cold. She avoided helping in simple household moments and often rolled her eyes when she thought no one was watching. Martha, being a kind soul, brushed it off, thinking Clara was simply stressed with wedding preparations. David, blinded by love, didn't notice. He was busy planning the grand wedding and dreaming of the future. Then came the day everything changed. David had been on a business trip overseas and was scheduled to return late in the evening. Clara was staying in his mansion during his absence, preparing for the upcoming wedding. But David's meetings ended sooner than expected. He decided to surprise Clara and his mother by returning a full day early. As his car pulled into the driveway, David noticed something strange. The front garden, his mother's pride, looked trampled, as though someone had stepped over her flowers carelessly. His heart sank. He quietly entered the house, not wanting to ruin the surprise. That was when he heard his mother's weak voice from the backyard. Curious, David moved closer. The sight that met his eyes froze him where he stood. His beloved fiancée, Clara, was standing with a bucket in her hands. And without a shred of hesitation, she poured dirty, murky water over his frail mother, who was kneeling near her flower bed. Martha gasped as the cold water drenched her, but Clara laughed cruelly. "You old woman," she sneered, "you need to learn your place. Once I marry David, you won't be the queen of this house anymore, I will." David felt his world collapse. His fists clenched, his jaw tightened, but he stayed hidden, watching in shock as Clara continued. "You think your son loves you more than me? You're just a burden. When I marry him, I'll make sure you're sent off somewhere far away. Maybe a nursing home, or better yet, nowhere at all." Martha didn't respond. Tears rolled down her wrinkled cheeks, not because of the insult, but because she didn't want her son to face heartbreak. She whispered softly, "If only David knew the truth about you." And that was when David stepped out from behind the hedge. "David?" Clara stuttered, the bucket slipping from her hands. The silence was deafening. Martha looked up, her eyes wide with shock, but David's gaze was fixed on Clara. His heart pounded, but his voice was steady. "So this is who you really are?" Clara quickly changed her tone, forcing a sweet smile. "David, you're misunderstanding. I was just joking with your mother. We were playing around." David's eyes burned with anger. "Playing? By humiliating the woman who gave me everything, the woman who sacrificed her life so I could stand where I am today." His voice broke slightly, but he stood tall. "No, Clara, I saw the truth with my own eyes. There's no explanation that can erase this." Clara tried again, reaching for his hand. "David, please. I love you. Don't let this little thing ruin us, he stepped back, disgusted. Love? If this is your love, I want no part of it. The engagement was broken that very night. Clara stormed out, her pride wounded, but her mask finally stripped away. David didn't care about the gossip that followed in magazines and tabloids. What mattered was the truth, that his mother had been right all along. In the days that followed, David sat by his mother's side, apologizing for not seeing through Clara's facade sooner. Martha only smiled and stroked his hair like she did when he was a boy. You saw her true face before it was too late, my son. That's what matters. The incident changed David. He realized that wealth attracts many faces, but only genuine love, like his mother's, stands the test of time. He began dedicating more of his energy to charities, focusing on helping children who had no one to protect them. He became a voice for kindness, repeating the lesson his mother taught him. Money can build empires, but kindness builds hearts. Years later, David did find love again, but this time with someone who respected his mother, valued kindness, and cared for him beyond his wealth. His wedding was smaller, simpler, but infinitely more meaningful. And through it all, Martha remained by his side, cherished and honored as the foundation of everything he had achieved. The story ends with David addressing the audience, as if speaking directly. True love is revealed not in words, but in actions. Look closely at how someone treats those who can give them nothing in return. That's where you'll find the truth.